what do you do when the president of the United States is reposting his own AI fan art?
So basically, there was an AI photo of Donald Trump as the Pope. I'm sure people know the Pope has passed away. Conclave, they've got the decision of who's going to be the next Pope. Donald Trump thinks, hey, the best thing that I should do is put up an AI photo on my personal account on the social network that he owns. And then the White House reposted it from the official Twitter account. And then later on in the week, May 4th, they posted another photo. MAGA has this weird obsession with Donald Trump, oily, muscly.
It's really fucking weird.
Yeah. So weird.
It's so weird to worship him like this.
I'm just saying, I see a lot of straight dudes in MAGA who are salivating over it. And look, if you're gay, you're bi, whatever. Be you, be happy, be comfortable. Don't judge others like you do, and then get weirdly, obsessively, fetish kinda let me stroke my gun while I look at Donald Trump in this AI generated image. And it's bro, what are you doing?
It's the other thing with the Star Wars image is that he's holding a Sith lightsaber, the red one, the evil one.
And
that's a Freudian slip.
This morning I reread it, and it said, take down the Sith. They were cleaning. They're we're getting rid of the criminals and the terrorists and the Siths. And he's holding a red lightsaber.
Great. We would love him to be next.
Elon Musk also posted a photo of himself, not AI, where it was from the Joe Rogan podcast, and it's him holding a red lightsaber, which I think was photoshopped. I mean, these people think the Empire was good. They're
they might be these are the good guys. They probably do think that.
Oh, absolutely. They're we freed people. And it's dog, you enslaved people.
It's just anytime I see anything that Trump is doing with this glorifying the golden statue, taking over Gaza, all these AI things, it reminds me so much of Kim Jong-un. It really does just it's dictatory. It's so weird.
It's the AI images that they're creating also to make fun and mock migrants when they're deporting them. Because there was, I think ChatGPT there was that trend of take the photo, here we'll regenerate it as these different types of formats. Another one they're doing from the official account is, hey, we're going to mock these migrants who are crying.
Oh, yeah, the ASMR.
Oh, there's the ASMR one too.
God, that was so up.
Yeah, it's despicable. It's diabolical, the things that are happening in this country. And what's so funny is we were picking a podcast topic and we had so many to rifle through. We picked the AI one because we thought it would enrage us the least.
Everyone who's watching, ask yourselves, do any of these things make your life better? Make groceries cheaper, gas prices more affordable? Do they
make you feel safer?
Make your health care better? Yeah. Does it bring down the cost of rent or home prices? None of this stuff, and I don't want to say oh man, 2020 hindsight, because we knew literally before the election happened what it would have been like. New home buyers would have had, I think it was 25 to 50,000 credit that they could have used. 25,000. Small business could have gotten 50,000, I think it was. All of these things would have made everyone's lives way better.
Oh no, now we got women being incentivized with only $5,000 to have babies.
Right.
Yeah.
And also $1,000 to self-deport if you come into this country illegally, which is okay, where's Doge? Where is Doge? What are we?
Oh, but no, we have enough tax money to open up Alcatraz.
Yeah.
By the way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and we're reopening Alcatraz, which is so insane. Alcatraz is a tourist attraction. Let's calm down. We're not turning it back into a prison. Have you never been there? He probably hasn't. Yeah. Or he went there and he was like, wow, these conditions look pretty bad. I like it.
It's such an insult and also just so incredibly frustrating to be one of the leaders of the world. This country is a leading nation in the world and we are being headed by a dude who is posting fan art of himself. I think another country could take us by force. I might put my hands up in the air and say, do it. So
it's impressive, I'll say, how loud and dumb you can be at the same time.
Right.
To just say these things
wrong.
Without any, whatever RFK Jr. says about rent, you're that's not even based on any science.
And even if you have facts, they're that's not true.
Right.
That video of Sam Sider and he's debating all these conservatives and they're yeah, and DEI, they get tax breaks. And he's government agencies don't get tax breaks. They're funded by the government. Yeah. And he's no, they're not. It's so common sense. We can't even, it's you can't even argue with them because in order to argue with someone who voted for Trump, who believes in MAGA, you have to dumb yourself down to the knowledge of perhaps a kindergartner where you think you say things and that makes it true.
I mean, ultimately, it's a bunch of people who have been honestly brainwashed like a cult, and they need deprogramming from it, unfortunately, and that's really hard to do.
Yeah.
Especially because they don't see what they think as an issue.
I mean,
Yeah.
you have to remember that a lot of these people are 10, 11 years in to this, you know, and there was, let's be real here. A lot of this stuff started to come up when Obama became president because, you know, racism. But from there, you had people who came in with Trump, and he came down the escalator in 2015, and now we've had 10 years of this guy say the most, right out of the gate, the most crazy things. Then he had bans, then he had this.
He's
and
awful.
all of these things that Trump says, whether they're AI images or he wants to make Canada the 51st state, which, by the way, PM came today at the time of recording this and basically was like, you can go f*** yourself. We're not going to become the 51st state of the U.S., which, again, Donald Trump campaigned on this idea of no more wars, yet he wants to invade Panama, Greenland, Canada, and any other U.S. or any other territory.
No more wars if they just give in.
And it's just like, dude, what is this doing to make my life better?
Nothing.
Like,
Everything
what's
is hell.
the point? He's just like, oh, I'm going to do like weird Roman Empire. I'm like, we don't do this
No, and
anymore,
Why are
dude.
people giving him a platform? I watched a clip of this comedian. I can't remember her name. She was curly hair. She was giving an address, and she was like, I wanted the president to be here. I was going to drag him here myself. It turns out he's the one pussy you can't grab. And everyone was like, oh! And she was like, he said it first. You remember that? He said it first.
Uh-huh.
It's like, can we please get all on the same thing? And also, people are like, well, this person did this, and you know it's locker room talk, and you talk about this. I'm like, and you're telling me I can't hold the president of the United States to a higher standard than a dude, a frat boy in a locker room? You're
Right.
joking my ass.
Yeah. If you're going to be theoretically the most powerful person in the entire world, like, yeah, you should be held to a different standard.
You should totally just stab
actually.
Caesar. That's how I'm
Yeah.
feeling.
All of these things like, oh, we're going to open up Alcatraz, which is like, anyone just do a simple Google search as to why it closed in the first place, and you'll realize also it can't hold more than like 250 to 300 people
It's just
max.
stupid. There's also a
That's what they
maximum
want.
security prison
Yeah.
literally on an island right next door. Like, we don't need to open Alcatraz. It's just
Yeah.
insane.
It's all just flash in the pan, and that's the way I would describe it. Is all this stuff is like fanfare or like rage bait, or it's just like, hey, boom, here's the thing, and it's like a distraction. Meanwhile, to like cover up
Oh my god.
losses in
Literally?
court, by the way.
Did you see that? Where it was, I can't remember what it was comparing it to. Something percent tariff on China, and like how all the tariffs are going crazy. And it was like, let's see how Republican news sources cover it. And Fox News is focusing on 2 trans women across the pond playing in a pool tournament. Wait the
Also, what? Why
Let me
is
stop.
pool fucking gendered?
Who
cares about pool?
You're gonna tell me that men have a biological advancement to getting things in the hole?
Yeah, they're-
Logically, they don't.
Guess what? Men are pretty bad at doing finding
what?
things,
Exactly what I
getting
was
things
saying.
in holes.
Anyway,
Men, you've got 2 options. There's 2 holes, and they 50-50 chance they get it right.
you're telling me put them on a pool table with at least 6 options, and they're better than me?
I mean,
Give me a break.
MAGA would make you believe that men are better at geometry and physics. So, you know, it's just
And
like
they're
I
Stupid.
just
Stupid.
can't. I just
Anyway,
can't. And
that's
to call
like-
us snowflakes, but they're a literal political party whose entire thing is trying to put every single person that is different than them down. And I'm like, imagine being so afraid of other people that you think this is the only way that you can survive.
So
Yeah.
That actually reminded me. So when MAGA's like, oh, you're some sensitive, dumb snowflake, all this stuff. Like, obviously that term snowflake has been around for a long time. But where it became really popular was from Fight Club, which is a critique of that type of culture, those type of people. It's just like, and they're
it
like,
goes
They
over
don't
their
know that.
head.
They
They can't. They
don't.
have no literacy. You
Media-
have no literacy.
Media literacy, the like decline of that is so concerning.
Horrifying.
Like people.
I mean,
just
we have.
taking things.
But we're getting rid of the Department of Education.
I mean, you got,
really,
you know,
literally in a
McMahon.
way that's real concerning.
You've got a literal person involved with men wrestling, oiled up wrestling shows, who is running the Department of Education and being like, my plan is to put myself out of job. And you're like, what, you mean the job? You put yourself out of the job? And she's like, put myself out of job.
I talk like that when I'm trying to be funny and stupid at
Yeah.
the same time. You're telling me people get to do that and have high
Right.
positions in office?
Which,
Yeah.
I guess bringing it back to AI, she's the one who said A1
Oh my God, I
when
saw that.
referencing AI in schools. So, Education is doing awesome in this country.
We're having a really good time. We have lots to make content about. Speaking of content, let us move on to a comment on our content. This is funny. There's a lot of misconceptions about Boardwalk, it seems. But this comment was left on a video we made, purchasing the libs, renting the libs. We made a lib bot so that conservatives would have a healthy outlet instead of making us all suffer because of their idiocy. And Valerie Demke says, the only reason I believe you wasted this much time on your stupid little project is because it's easy for me to believe that you don't have a real job. Tess, how long did it take you to edit that video?
I don't know, but at least like an hour, if
And
not
it took
longer.
us 5 minutes to shoot it. And you know what's funny about that? Valerie Demke, you commented it on the Boardwalk page. So it's a literal business. So we have a fucking job.
And I threw a tantrum on this couch like it was my job. Because
Yeah.
It is his job.
I would say that one actually took a little bit longer to shoot. Like, Gabe was giving Oscar-worthy performances.
We earned our salaries that
If you
day.
only
Yeah.
heard what was being said in this room at the time, oh my God, chef's kiss.
Really, truly.
Yeah, this was
Truly.
our Oppenheimer.
Some might say. Some might say.
So anyway, yeah, you know what, Valerie? You're leaving that on a Facebook comment during business hours. So who's unemployed?
Who doesn't?
Get
This
back
is the
to
other.
work.
These people love like being like, "Oh wow, you're like sitting here posting on the internet." Meanwhile, they're like arguing
it. Yeah.
with
Scrolling.
us. I'm like, "Do you?"
But I will
what
say
do you do?
the best ones are the people that comment not realizing they're logged into their business account.
Yes.
And you're like, you're not even anywhere related in the category industry that we are in.
Yeah, our job keeps us busy. Yours keeps you watching our content.
Yeah.
Thank you for the
Engagement.
engagement.
26
But
point something million views
we
in the month of
do-
May, April. So
like, I just regularly am like, "Oh well, I get paid to do this, but you posted that comment for
For
free."
free.
So
Yeah.
you looked stupid for free. As we've said, media literacy is incredibly low. To argue with these people is to return yourself to the age of kindergarten comebacks.
yeah.
Where if someone calls me a bitch, I'm like, well, a bitch is a female dog and dog's barks on a tree and tree is beautiful in its nature. So thanks for calling me beautiful.
Yeah.
And also,
We all know that. I know that one. Slay Queen. Got him.
I would also say these people who comment and they're like, oh man, look at this little sketch. What do you got going on? Playtime? And it's like, these are the same people who are like really jerking off to these images that they either make themselves or are made with AI of Donald Trump. And they're like, you spent your time, like we spent time doing this. You spend time making fan art for a guy that doesn't even know you exist.
And when people leave these comments and they call our content stupid or whatever, it's like the amount of times people have watched videos of mine, gotten to the end of the video and been like, this was boring. I'm like, boring enough for you to stay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to move on to a review of one of our clothing items. This one is from Stephanie Quintile, and she says, worth every cent. She says, my t-shirt arrived with no problem. Looks just like the picture and fits me perfectly. Pricey, but I think it was worth the money considering the high quality of the shirt and good service. And I wanted to talk about this one because this is something we're hearing a lot, is that things are expensive at Boardwalk. And not only are you paying for the product, but you are paying to support small artists. You are paying to support illustrators, writers, content creators, teams. The quality is good. The shirt is good. People really like the shirts. We wear these every week. So I know they last in a wash cycle. So like, yeah, you're paying $32 for a shirt, but if you wear it once a week, you're technically paying like, you know, $1 a year for this shirt. So let's move on to my favorite portion of the podcast show, which is where we take some of our delve decks and we answer a question from each of them. This is from our venting deck. Which adult life skill is the hardest to master?
I'm not good at any sort of budgeting. Like, I just like don't
I've never
Want
thought about it.
to. And I know that I like should, but I just kind of am going off vibes
Same.
most of the time. And people are like, oh, you can make like a spreadsheet really easily. And I'm like, nah.
And then update it daily?
But it's an adult life skill that I know people say you should have. So, but I'm not good at it. It's not something I'm good at.
I would say like time management, you
Oh,
know,
really?
being like, oh, these are either all the things I have to do or I have nothing to do. And living in this world of like kind of anxiety, we're like, oh, like, I don't have anything to do. What should I do? Or I got so many things to do. Like, which one, like if I'm writing, like a script or a story or something like that, or I'm doing something else, I might be like, oh, I see this thing, and I got to do that. Like, gives me an idea to do something else. And it's that ADHD mind that's like scatterbrained.
I was just gonna, yeah.
And I'm just like all over. I'm like, oh, well, I should also do this. And I'm like, then I have a bunch of things that are like half written, We're like, I'll come back to this one. But it's, again, it really is like, okay, well, today I got to go to the store and do this. I got to go do this. I want to, I want to go out to brunch or I want to make breakfast or whatever. But then I got to film this thing. And
I feel that. And I'm stressed and like have to get it all done right now. Otherwise it will not get done.
And I would say the only way it gets easier if another person is doing it or setting it up for you, Mine
is definitely like keeping a stable routine, especially because I was self-employed for like a year there. Like my day started when I wanted it to, which like sounds really awesome. But like having ADHD and also being like, it's like the paralysis of sitting there and being like, I have no idea, but nothing's getting done. And then it's already noon and I've wasted my day and I can't have anything to do today. So getting a solid routine, really hard. Really worth it. I don't really have one yet, but I'm getting close.
All right. So this is from the original deck, 3rd level. What is something that seems like it should appeal to you but doesn't?
Black licorice.
Why does that seem like it should appeal to you?
What?
What do you mean?
Because I love licorice. Okay, I love licorice.
Yeah, but black licorice?
Wait. Hold on. Wait, just give me a second.
Yeah. Dig yourself out of this one.
Let me cook. Look.
What? All right.
I love Twizzlers, okay? Not really a big fan of Red Vine. I love Twizzlers, okay? Love licorice. The reason I say black licorice is because I go, oh, that's like the stronger version of it, right? And so then I think of chocolate. I love dark chocolate, really bitter chocolate, love it. So then in my mind I go, well, if there's only really 2 types of licorice, and like let's say that normal licorice is like milk chocolate, and black chocolate is dark chocolate, I would assume like, oh yeah, sure, I would probably be into that, and I'm not.
They're two totally different flavors.
Yeah, well, so is chocolate, milk chocolate, and dark chocolate.
No, it's not.
Yes,
One's just sweeter than the other. Licorice is like berry and anise. That's what it is.
Anus. That's why it tastes so bad.
Those are 2 different flavors.
I didn't say I like it or I want to like it. I'm saying, this first I thought as a kid. This would appeal to me because I was like, oh, maybe this is like the stronger version. And yes, anise, anus, whatever, dude. It doesn't taste good.
What should appeal to me is like social events or like going out to clubs or bars or parties, and I just want to be at 5 p.m. in my dwelling, in my jammies with my cat and my boyfriend. I don't want to be leaving. I don't like loud noises. I hate them. And I hate being around a bunch of people that are sweaty and like they're dancing. And if you make eye contact with someone, they think it's an invitation. Oh, no. Don't put me in those situations. Don't ever. I will never go to a brand trip. I will never go to a club. Maybe in Europe. Shit doesn't count in Europe.
I picked this question, and this whole time I've been like, what is my answer going to be? Okay, the one that I'm going to go with is, I think that people would assume that I would like the book series A Court of Thorns and Roses, and I hated that series.
I would not expect you to like that series at all. I would expect you to hate read it.
Thank you. I agree, but a lot of people recommended it to me, so apparently other people think that I should like it.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a fantasy series.
I got that. I figured.
And it is this is what also pissed me off about that series is people were like, oh, it's like so dirty. It's like a dirty romance novel. Down with that. There's like 2 sex scenes in this fucking 600-page book. Get out of here with this fucking PG
And I know
nonsense.
Exactly where they are too. Bookmarked and bookmarked.
Which is fine, but don't call this book smut.
You guys ever read the Bible?
Hell yeah.
Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Judges, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, Ruth, 1 Samuel, 2 Samuel, 1 Kings, 2 Kings, 1 and then there's,
Those stories are crazy. Not a lot of smut, though. All right. I have the Joy Edition. And my question is, what is a minor victory you recently experienced?
We did this one last week.
Fuck. All right.
Gabe wasn't here. He was getting his nose shaved down.
He fixed his nose, thank God. Do you
Ew,
see how
ew,
much
ew.
better it is?
I can breathe so much better now.
No, because
And it
I want to
looks
clear
better,
your like.
too.
If I had your, oh my god, if I was your wife and I heard that all the time, I'd be like sympathy blowing my nose. I'd be like picking your nose in sleep.
I
like-
am blowing my nose, and I'm draining my nose.
No, I know, but that's what I'm saying. Is it never sounds drained enough? So I'd constantly be like,
Yeah. I'm still healing.
yeah, it was a week ago. I'm sorry.
Okay, what restores your faith in humanity? Not this conversation.
People who rescue animals and who do good things.
Yeah.
There's people out there who are like really doing hard work, hard, thankless work to
#blessed.
help animals, but also help humans who are going out there and really fighting for human rights and really doing very hard work to try to help people. And so
Yeah.
that restores my faith.
Similar to the human rights when I can't remember where it was, but the footage of all the neighbors who made a human chain around this person's van because ICE was there, and they were like, no, like you're not taking our neighbor. And so for like hours they kept a wall of their bodies and like gave gas, gave food, gave whatever they could, and kept that family safe. And stuff like that really makes me like, okay, we're not too far gone.
No, not everybody has
Hateful,
lost their
racist.
minds.
Whenever there is a like natural disaster, and I'm specifically right now talking about Florida because that's the one that first comes to mind. When there's a hurricane that comes through, the first people that are there to rebuild and work are the ones that current administration wants to kick out. They are the ones who truly, whether they believe it or not or follow, religiously, are like hold those Christian values of like help your neighbor and like I don't have much to give, but I have a skill set and I know how to work on this thing and I can help rebuild your home or whatever it might be. And they do that regardless of the attacks that they get on them every single day. And, the like Latino community and others are so strong that I'm like, oh my God, like a positive like stubbornness, I would say, to help out others, I think is so powerful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We were talking about Trump earlier, obviously, as we do. And I was watching the show called Extracted, and they're down to the final 4 contestants. This is relevant, I promise. And they have to, the family members of the people in the woods. Do you guys know the story of Extracted? So it's like you and I are on the show. You guys nominate me. I'm in the woods living there trying to survive. You guys are in headquarters sending me supplies, things like that,
Hunger Games?
Yeah, Hunger Games as hell. And so it's down to the final 4 contestants, and their family members had to pick a 5-letter word that they thought their family member would get and unlock, like whatever. And so it's like these 2 men, they get out the gate and they run as fast as they can, they kayak, whatever, they get to their lock boxes. And these sons made their dad's word trust because they were like, that's the word we've been using the whole time. And it's like this one girl gets hers immediately, she's on the way, so it's only 1 spot left in the final spot. And this guy's like, T-R-U, and his sons are like, yes, trust, and he puts Trump. And he doesn't get it, and he doesn't get in the finals. And I was like, this is such a beautiful allegory for America that, like, this guy was like, oh, it should have been that. And it's like,
To pick
you
Trump over
fucking
trust.
idiot. And he had no idea. I was like, Anyway, so
And that's what happens when you put your faith in Trump. You get
Yeah.
you get not in the finale, and you lose to a girl whose word was shark. She got that right away. Anyway, that's the Boardwalk Podcast for this week. We love you guys so much. Thanks for hanging out with us. Oh, wait. If you want to take some strain off your brain and take the plunge, you can get these at boardwalk.com. They're super fun. I highly recommend them. As for us, we got stuff to do because we have jobs and we're employed. So we love you guys so much. Thanks for hanging out with us. Okay, goodbye.
Bye.